Hello, Zach Yelton here, Coastal Shores Landscape, with our January 2020 newsletter video. Can't believe I'm saying 2020, but we are welcoming in a new year. Looking back over 2019, we're all very, very grateful for the opportunity to work with you and just work here in the Low Country. We really love what we do. We've got a great team. I know I say this week in and week out, but there is a lot of really, really exciting things here. We had a Christmas celebration shortly before the holidays, and I was just amazed at the number of positive things that a lot of our employees were just coming forward and saying in just ways that this company, working here, working with this team, working in this culture, the positive things that come out of that were just so plentiful. And not only at work, but even in their home lives. And I was just so encouraged to hear that, and we were all uplifted. So we had a great time. I hope you all had a great time with your family and your friends and your loved ones over the holidays, just as we have. So some of the things we're looking into January, we are coaching our guys on our winter pruning task. I went over this a little bit last month, but our winter pruning task, we look for perennials that are at the end of their growing season. We look at things like crepe myrtles. We'll be doing selective pruning on many of those to improve their structure and their shape and their form and habit. We'll also look to cut back things like ornamental grasses. Any of your miscanthus grass, your pennisedums, your pampas grass, muhlenbergia, those type things, we're going to be looking to cut those back this time of year so that they are ready for spring and will be rejuvenated. So we'll be coaching our guys on that on your specific properties. I will say, if you have any particular request, please feel free to let us know. I'd love to meet with you on site, or maybe it's something that you can just grab one of the team members and just asking them directly about it. They're very knowledgeable. They know what they're talking about with these plants, and if they don't know the answer, they'll get it to you. So that's what's coming up here in January. Another thing you can expect is more of this warm weather. We've had a pretty mild December so far. It hasn't really taken a turn for the cold. And then recently, this past week, we've had so much rainfall. So one thing I'm seeing out there is fungus starting to hang around. And this grass, although most of it's gone dormant as we've had a couple of frosts, we're still seeing fungus creep in. So the most prominent one that you will see this time of year is brown patch fungus. And you can easily identify brown patch. It's got a circular pattern, almost a perfect circle. It starts very small, 3, 4, 5 inches in diameter, and then it spreads out from there. It can get to 8, 10, 12 feet in diameter. And it'll be these big circles in your yard. So it can show up even on dormant grass, and that fungus may not fully go dormant this time of year. So it means that we still need to treat it. So if we see that in your lawn, or if you see it before us, or maybe you think you have it, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. But if we see it, we're going to be coming to you and asking for a fungicide treatment to knock that out. The last thing I want to mention, we are coming up on pre-emergent season. So pre-emergent herbicides, we typically put our first applications down in February, and we'll be reaching out to you to contact you to see if that's something that you want to do. If you're interested in it, please let us know. You can send us an email, send me a text or a phone call, and we'll get you set up on that. If you're not sure about it or have some questions about how that may benefit your lawn, I'm happy to walk through that with you as well. But essentially, the pre-emergent herbicides are going to be, they're kind of like a blanket of protection over your soil to prevent those spring weeds from germinating. And it's all about the timing. We want to get the timing right just before the soil temperature warms up. So we'll be talking to you more about that as we approach spring. But January is when we are going to start talking to you about that. Last thing, one thing you can help with, as much water as we've had, make sure your irrigation systems are turned off. If you're not in the area or not around, please let us know. We're happy to have our teams do that when we're on site. But that is very important. We don't need to be overwatering this time of year. If you have some planters or some seasonal color flowers, water those by hand, or maybe isolate those zones to just water themselves, but don't need to be pouring a lot of extra water on the grass this time of year. It's a waste of money, waste of water, and can certainly cause more fungus issues. So just wanted to mention that to you. Last thing we're going to be doing, we talk a lot about our culture here. One thing that we do to promote that and to really help that flourish here and thrive here is we do these training days. So every Thursday we have a training day for our team. You've probably heard me talk about it before, but it's not very long. We pick a small topic, we train our team on it, something relevant to that week or that particular season, and they walk away with a little more knowledge than they knew before. But one thing we're committing to this fall and winter is we're doing a training day. We're shutting everything down. It'll probably be on a Saturday, something like that. We bring our guys in, provide them a good meal, and we go over several topics. So we're really excited about that. I tell you that just because it makes us happy to talk about it, but one of our core values is empowerment, and empowering our guys to be confident in what they're doing out there on your properties. And that's one way we're doing it right there, is just holding an instruction class. And it's amazing the feedback that we get from the guys when we invest in them like that. So that's one thing we're doing here in the dormant season while things are a little slower around the shop, is working to educate and train. So once again, we're very grateful for your business in 2019. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and a happy 2020.